All right, guys, welcome to the Everything Counts podcast. This is where discipline, mindset, and action collide. Here we cut through the excuses and expose the habits that hold men back. We share the tools that build strong fathers, leaders, and men who refuse to settle. Because in life, business, health, and fatherhood, everything counts. Every choice, every habit, every action, every day. And joining me today again is my co-host, Mr. George Azzi. How are you, George?
Jamie Small, good to be back. Thanks, guys.
Mate, tell me, long weekend or the weekend just gone by, where were you?
I felt like a long weekend. Just got back from Magic Round in Brizzy.
How was the footy?
It was really good, mate. Quiet weekend with the boys. It was really nice. Good to catch up.
How many games of footy did you watch?
Watched probably half an hour of the Roosters game and then got back into it. Got stuck in again.
So let me get this straight. You buy tickets for the whole weekend, and how many?
We actually didn't. We didn't buy them.
Footy did you watch?
Watched half a half.
Yeah.
We didn't buy them actually. We got them given out by Twiley, Alex Twile. Thank you very much. Big shout out to Alex Twile from the area. Gave us free tickets for the weekend. Took a couple of lads up and we went up. Yeah. Gave it a good shake up there. It was good.
Yeah, cool. I'm well, thanks.
Jamie Swell, first of all, sorry, mate, to interrupt you. Well done. Again with the undies brand, really pushing, mate.
Yeah, mate, a bit of a soft launch with those ones underwear. Daily reminder that everything counts. It was the most rewarding thing the other day is one of my youngest son's mates, mums rang me and said, how do I get my hands on those ones? I said, well, we don't make them for kids yet. Small's the smallest, and he probably needed an extra small. He goes, my son wants them for his birthday at 11 years old.
How good.
So he bought them a little bit big, so he's going to be hitting the squat rack to build those glutes and sort of fit them out. But so it's going good. It's been a soft launch so far. I've got a marketing girl helping me now. So
good on you, mate. Proud of you,
be a $100 million business one day. Yeah. So look out. You want to introduce our next guest?
Haven't told you. I'm proud of you, mate. You're doing well.
Thank you.
You're
appreciate it.
Goals, buddy. Keep it going.
Thank you.
My next guest, good friend of mine, Andrew Hamilton, stand-up comedian, YouTuber, part of the OG crew, which I was lucky enough to be on. Thank you very much. Say hi to the guys. Over 1.6 million subscribers. He's an author, and he's also spent some time behind bars for drug dealing. Good friend of the Raptor boys. Big shout out to the Raptor boys there. Also, he's an author of A Profound Benefits of a Stint in Prison book. So, guys, check it out. Profound.
Andy, thanks for coming on.
My pleasure, boys. And George, if your mate wants to give me some tickets to Magic Round, I'll actually go to the games for next year.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next year.
I must say, Andy, when George said you're friends with Andy, and I mentioned to you before, I was trying to find that video that I first saw of you probably about 2 years ago that I watched probably 30 or 40 times, and you showed me again then. Piss funny. Like, I was starstruck when I met you just before. So absolute pleasure for you to come on the podcast.
My pleasure. Wow. Man, yeah, I just make stupid videos and sometimes they blow up, but it's very surreal how much the internet can change the game for you these days.
You say stupid, I find them pretty fucking funny, bro. I think you're a pretty funny dude, man.
Thank you.
So how did it all start? I know you did a bit of a stint, but what about your upbringing? What sort of led to that?
I mean, it was just me being a fuck up, really. I grew up in Hornsby, one of 5 kids. Had a very good upbringing. My parents sent me to a private school. I went to uni, and I guess I just drank and did a lot of drugs, and I was just helping out friends by hooking them up for parties and stuff like that, and it just seemed like an easy way to make cash, and I like to be in the life of the party. And so you make a few decisions that you kind of make small ones until it all adds up. Next thing you know, I'm one of the biggest mushroom dealers in Sydney. And
because I saw a joke about that. So that's legitimate about the mushrooms.
Yeah. I was like the mushroom king of Sydney for like a decade.
Wow.
How good.
So, consuming as well?
Consuming them, but that was fine because like there's only so many mushrooms you can have before you get sick of them. The problem for me was when I started dealing coke, because like just having that in the house was just fucked.
Right.
And
how long did this go on for?
Look, I was selling drugs for about 16 years. I had a pretty good run. But it really only kind of blew up in the last like five years or so to like, before that it was just kind of like enough to help pay rent and pay bills and take girls out and stuff like that. But it wasn't until the last few years the money started skyrocketing, and then it was just out of control.
Right.
So being the life of the party, being a comedian, is that usually the blokes that are comedians, the life of the party? They're the ones that sort of...
I always say there's like 2 groups of comedians. There's either ADHD or autism, right? Yeah. And the ADHD ones are the life of the party.
Yeah.
The autism ones are usually a bit more socially awkward, but when they get on stage, they're the funniest people you've ever met in your entire life. But I tend to gravitate more towards the ADHD ones, I guess.
Yeah.
Ones,
I can see it starting to flare up a bit now.
The problem when you go to like the Melbourne Comedy Festival, it's like you got every good comedian in the Southern Hemisphere all in one city, and so it's like dangerous because you do your show and then you'll like have beers with them, and like 1 hour with a bunch of comedians suddenly turns into 4 or 5 because it's just you're having the best time of your life.
Yeah.
Is it pretty competitive from comedian to comedian? Like who does the best gig or?
Look, it's only in your head, really. Like, there's always someone who you're like, oh fuck, they're getting opportunities, or they're getting things, or they're getting crowds that I would like. Why can't I get that? But in terms of like when you just step back from it, you realize you've got a totally different audience to them anyway. Just because they're filling up that room doesn't mean that another crowd wouldn't come to you. And and just because they're going to see them, they would probably hate my shit. So
it's different for every comedian, right? Every comedian has their own personality, sort of their own jokes.
And attracts their own audience. Yeah, exactly. So you're really only
to a
competing
comedy
against...
night when there's like 10 comedians. Like, must be hard for the comedian that has different demographic or take.
So that's called a lineup show when you do like, I'll do that often in Sydney. You'll do a show where you're all doing 10 minutes and there's maybe 7, 8, 9 comedians on the lineup. And they're great because like for people that are going out, even if you think one comedian's shit, they're going to be gone in 10 minutes and the next one will come out. So there's something there for everyone, which is a good mix. And it also exposes people to a lot of different kind of worldviews and a lot of different styles of comedy, which I think is great. Yeah. But there's the kind of shows where you learn how to do stand-up so that then you can do your own 1 hour shows. And that's how you really make money, is by doing your own 1 hour shows.
I actually play a game when I go to see a comedian, see how long I can not laugh for. And
oh, geez.
You're the best type of person in the crowd.
Just for fun. Because I find myself in stitches laughing.
Do us a favour, don't come to my show. I don't want to be seeing your face sitting there.
Has there been a situation where you've really crashed and burned though?
I wouldn't say there's been times when I've crashed and burned. Usually I'm lucky enough to go all right. If there's bits that don't work, I kind of figure out a way to pivot and bring it out. But once you go to a point where people are coming to see you specifically, they want you to do well, right? It's usually like when you're first starting out and you're doing lineups with a bunch of other people and they don't know who the fuck you are, and I'm talking about, getting coke blown up my ass or something like that, and like they're just like, who the fuck is this cunt? But there are sometimes when you'll have someone like that who isn't laughing, I will have their arms crossed and you're like, this cunt hates me. And then at the end of the show, they'll come up and go, best show I've ever seen. And I'm like, tell your face. Tell your face because, you could have
Do you
everyone
pick on
laughing.
those guys though?
What?
Will you pick on those guys?
No, I don't really pick on people. That's not really my vibe. But like sometimes if someone like yells out shit, then you'll like give it back to them. Yeah. But if just because someone's not laughing doesn't mean they're not, as I said, not having a good time. But it does get in your head because I could notice I could have 99 people not laughing their ass off. I could have them laughing, but you just focus on the one person who's not laughing in your head. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, it does your head in.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm actually a huge fan of fucking comedians, bro. And I love the part where you get hecklers and then you just go back at him and he just spontaneously just pick something in your head and just go at him. It's fun. I've got this comedian, Tim Dillon, big friend of the show. I don't know if you know him.
Of course.
Yeah, I love Tim Dillon. Yeah, so he kills me, man.
He's amazing.
He's amazing, hey? He's just awesome, bro.
But there are a lot of kind of comedians who, like, you see because of social media, people think that comedy is crowd work these days. That it's like, but a lot of comedians are just doing material, right? So it kind of does a little bit of a disservice sometimes when people start like just yelling out. But if you've got the skills to at least kind of figure that out and nip that in the bud, or like make them feel like an idiot, then the show can go on.
Yeah.
So I've always wondered what sort of preparation goes into getting up on stage. Do you practice in front of the mirror? Your friends? Do your friends critique what you're saying?
Unfortunately, it's one of the only jobs where the only way to test it is to do it in front of people. There were times when before I got up to do my first gigs where I would sit at home and rehearse and memorize. But now it's a lot looser than that. I'll write jokes and I'll kind of get the gist of it. And then I just need to go to a gig to really test it out. Yeah. It's not until you get some laughs, you'll know. And even sometimes you'll get laughs on a joke and it's still a shit joke. It was just that night they were laughing at anything. Yeah. So usually you got to test something like 3 or 4 times before you get a sense of actually like whether this works or not.
There's no real training for it. The training is just really
the training's doing it.
Crowd work,
Training's doing it.
So you mentioned before you pivot, when you get into a situation where the crowd's going this way. So you have like a schedule of jokes that you tell, but you have one where I'm like, you know what, I might try this one because I feel like the crowd's after something like this.
So I do have like a set list when I'm doing like my 1 hour show because it's jokes, but there's a story. Kind of there's the story to it as well. So there's kind of beginning, middle, and end. So I have to stick kind of to it. But there are times where if they laugh at like a really crook shit, then I might bring in some that I don't run that often. Or I did a show in Port Hedland, which is like top of WA. And they were just all so drunk and so rowdy. And like I could tell that any of my storytelling bits that went for longer than 2 minutes, I was going to lose the crowd. You know? And I had like this guy who was completely gacked out of his mind. I think because they're all minors, they can only have like ket and mushrooms are like the only ones that don't show up on drug tests. I think. So he was probably on both of those. And I do attract a lot of people on mushrooms to my show because I was the mushroom guy, which is great. But, you know, this guy was just going rogue, yelling out shit. So I had to like abuse the fuck out of him. The crowd was loving it. And I was like, my whole set list had to go out the window.
Yeah.
And it basically just turned into me fucking just abusing the room in a funny way, sculling beers and like just like trying to say any joke I had, which was like 1 minute long, was just like, it just had to be short and punchy. So yeah, sometimes you just got to be like, okay, the plan A is out the window. Yeah. Let's just improvise and just make sure people are still having a good time. That's the job at the end of the day.
You got to be witty, don't you? Like you got to be quick to respond.
Profound. You got to be very
Have you ever done a show where like the director or producer or scouter said, Andy, just ace it up a bit. You're taking this too far?
No, I think. Look, if I got any opportunities to do my stand-up on TV, they'd probably have a bit more like of a say on like, hey, don't talk about drugs, don't do this one, don't do that one. They might have a bit more of a say on that. But generally speaking, I've got pretty much free reign. I know there are certainly some comedians that are on radio that think like there's certain things they can't say on stage because it'll fuck their opportunities on radio. Fine, but for me, you know, I'm a comedian and YouTuber. I don't really feel like I have any. Yeah. I don't have any restrictions, which is great.
There's no restriction on the OJ crew, right? You can just.
I mean, look, there's general YouTube restrictions. Yeah. There's some things that you can't do or you get demonetized. Yeah. But like it doesn't mean like the video can still be up.
Yeah, okay.
But there's been a couple of times where we've been age restricted, where you have to be 18 plus to watch the video, or you get demonetized because we've played charades and we simulated a sex act. I think it was like a 69 or something like that, and that was like demonetized. I think if you swear, sometimes we swear too much, those kind of things. But yeah, we try to be careful with it because if it gets demonetized, that fucks our revenue. But
yeah, of course.
Is it just that one video that's demonetized though?
We've had a couple. It was like late last year. We had a bad run where it was like 2 or 3 videos were getting demonetized, and we had to like work with YouTube to like edit the videos when they were already up to get it fixed.
So what sort of money can you make out of a successful YouTube video?
Oh, I mean,
1.6 million subscribers.
Yeah, so I mean, some videos can make like. It's getting over 1 million views. Sometimes you can get like 20 grand for a video, something like that, 30 grand. Yeah.
Wow. Now the OG crew, how'd you meet them? They're a random bunch of people.
Yeah. So I met Alan and Akila. I met at my first ever open mic, which was in like February 2022. I had to bring my mum to the shows because I was on bail and I wasn't allowed out of the house without her.
Yeah.
And so my mum, who's in her like late 70s, had to like come to stand-up gigs with me. And I'd put my name in a bucket and you get your name drawn out whenever it was going to be your turn to do 5 minutes on stage. And they're pretty brutal because it's mostly, there's like not really any audience. It's just other comedians.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to do your jokes to a bunch of cunts that aren't listening, that are looking at their phone because they're about to get on stage. They don't want to laugh at you because they like, you know, they're jaded because they're not successful. So it's like, it's a very hard place to like learn how to do comedy because guys get trained in that the only way they're going to get a reaction is by saying like really fucked shit.
Yeah.
So you kind of can be trained into a bad style of joke writing. You're suddenly just talking about dead bodies and babies and fucking cum and, you know, whatever, just to get a reaction out of this room of people. But I just stuck to my jail stuff and it went pretty well. But Killer and Alan were at those first gigs. And so I got to know them and I was friends with them. And then I got asked by this guy who was trying to create a YouTube channel. He liked my TikTok videos. I used to do these videos where I would just read out my food reviews that I wrote in jail. Like every day I have for lunch and dinner, I would score my dinner and like write about like the frittata was cold and shit like that. just as a way to entertain myself. And so, yeah, he liked those videos. He asked me to shoot some content with him for this channel called Yeah Mad. And so we did that. And then the videos started like going like crazy viral, or getting like 200 million views or whatever. And so I had asked Alan to be on that show to shoot. And so he came on and he blew up as well. And the whole channel blew up. And so it was so big, but we were getting paid essentially as extras on this show. And this guy that owned the channel was making squillions.
Yeah.
And so I said, hey, like, share the love. And he was like, no. And so, so I got fired. And then the other guys quit. And then we started our own channel. And now we own it and we make the money.
Good on you. Good on you, man.
But
Fucking great.
it was pretty stressful because I felt like I'd cooked the golden goose, because this was getting me like known in like kind of the internet world, which was helpful to sell tickets to my shows, which is all of this stuff was just at the service really of just trying to sell tickets. I want to just be a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
I wanted people to come to shows. And so when I got fired, I'm like, fuck, I'm such a fuckhead retard. What did I do? And then, the other guys luckily saw that what I was saying was right, which was the system that we'd set up, the arrangement wasn't fair.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, they quit and we started our own channel, and now it's kind of proven right that we did it. And now we have creative control and we make the money.
Yeah, good on you. Fucking great channel, man. OG crew.
Yeah, can I just wind it back to jail? I struggle to understand or imagine a comedian in jail, because I imagine it's not a very funny place. But
well, I think that's
would I be right?
Because when something funny happens, it's extra funny, right? Because because you feel like you're in this pretty dark place. So when you're laughing, it's crazier because you're like, this shouldn't be a place where laughter happens, But once you get used to it, I mean, I was treated great in Long Bay and Parklea by the inmates, not so much the
How long were you in
screws.
for?
4 months,
Right.
so not long.
They would have loved you in there, would they?
Well, I got treated. Luckily, when I was at Long Bay, my first day in the yard, this guy spotted me and he's like, I know you can't. And I was like, I'd been recognized a few times before by people thought that they'd done jail with me. And I was like, no, you've got the wrong guy. And I'm like, this could be bad.
How did they recognize you?
They just thought they knew my face.
Right.
But they were like, oh, I did jail with you in Bathurst and shit. I was like, mate, you've got the wrong guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, this could be a problem if they think I'm someone else who's fucked them over.
Yeah.
But this guy was like, oh, I know you from the outside. And I was like, I don't think so, mate. And then he like, you used to buy me and my missus beers at the Columbian whenever you won on the pokies. And I was like, fuck, that was me, actually.
Yeah.
And so he ended up being very well connected in the yard. And next thing you know, I had a kettle and a sandwich press and was just hooked up. And that turned out to be very handy.
See, a bit of karma there.
Yeah.
A bit of karma.
I found that if you're keeping your nose clean and you're not fucking racking up drug debts or gambling debts and you're not involved in any beefs, and, it's generally fine in the yard. And so you just exercise and chat to people and guys would have a laugh in the yard. I wasn't doing stand-up in the yard because, if I was doing jokes that went south, it might have some consequences.
Because the Prince was saying the biggest thing in jail is respect.
Yeah.
And a lot of the jokes are around like having to dig at people.
Well, most of mine, I taking the piss out of myself.
All right.
So like I talked about when I got raided by the Raptor Squad, and this is a true story. I was like hiding behind my bedroom door and they like came and found me and they tackled me and they said, stay down, you fat cunt. You got a tiny cock. That's what he said to me. And so my first joke was like, that's how I knew they had me under surveillance. Like, how else would they know about the cock, So I think that most of my stuff is, I did a gig actually in Silverwater Prison in front of like 100 inmates in Maxo. They invited me in to do that. And so for all that kind of stuff, luckily myself is all about my own mistakes and how dumb I am. So that kind of work goes well. But
they would love that because they would have all related sort of things.
That's going to be good for their rehabilitation, just having a good laugh, right?
I think so. I mean, I wanted to give back because I just know how much having a laugh in jail helped me. And so I just offered it, and it took a while. When I first applied to do Silverwater, I got rejected because I was on an ICO at the time. And so, in intensive corrections order, I was doing kind of a prison sentence in the community.
Okay, yeah.
And so, I didn't pass the prison's background check because I was
practically a prisoner.
Yeah. But I was like, shouldn't that make me more qualified to go into a jail? But then a year later, when I finished my ICO, they let me in, and performed, and it was definitely one of my tougher gigs. I remember like feeling like a dryness in my mouth because normally I'm doing gigs where it's dark and everyone's drinking and it's kind of like in this confined space, but this is like in a giant. It's like 11 a.m. on a weekday. All the boys are just sitting there sober, being like, "All right, can't make us laugh."
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there were
Were they laughing in the end?
It was definitely up and down. There was like, I think some of the jokes were too relatable. Well, anything about prison, they're in prison. I don't think they really want to hear that.
Yeah.
But any jokes just about me being an idiot on the outside, they kind of went pretty well.
Yeah.
Any of my drug jokes seemed very relatable, and that seems to go pretty well.
Yeah.
But it also seemed like you could tell they had like 50 screws watching them, right? So I think there was some drug stuff where they didn't want to laugh too much to like make, you know, kind of incriminate themselves. You know, they didn't want to self snitch.
Yeah.
But I remember the first thing I said when I got on stage, because it was like 100 inmates, they had 50 prison guards like surrounding them. And I'm like, what about these fucking screws, boys? Get a real job, fuckheads. And dead silence because like no one laughed. They didn't want to cop it.
Whoever's laughing is going to go in the hole.
In my head, I'm like, the boys are going to love this.
Did the screws laugh at least?
No, they kind of like, oh,
Tough crowd,
yeah, good one, fuckhead. But, oh, man, I ate shit immediately.
Screws would have fucking loved it.
So your relationship with your parents, Annie, like going to a private school, they've obviously tried to set you up for success.
Yep.
Getting into drugs for a long period of time. Has that relationship been mended due to your success now?
Totally. I mean, I was living with my parents up until recently. Ever since I got bail, I was living with them. And yeah, I think when I was like a drug dealer, I was also a drug addict and I was like very unreliable. Whenever my parents needed something, I was very flaky. But now, we've been super close, much closer than we were before.
Yeah.
I guess through not only just them understanding each other a bit more, but also the fact that they've been there watching me slowly turn my life around.
Yeah. That's the thing, you know, like a lot of people bag people that have been in jail, but it's a mistake. It's a moment, and your moment was 16 years, but some people's moment is they've mucked up, hit someone and killed them or whatever, right?
To be honest,
you can't be judged the rest of your life based on that, I don't think.
Those mistakes can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
Like one wrong move, like, I've made a few wrong moves in my life, believe it or not, and like any one of those could have ended up me behind bars. So it's just it's luck too. Like you got pinched, like Raptor came knocking, like Raptor, like it could be Raptor, could be police, could be, like they come knocking on any one of the decisions that we've made. I know you're a piece of shit too. I know any decisions that we've made in our life, it's a bit luck too. Like, you know what I mean? Like someone snitched you in if you want to talk about that, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. I think I've talked about it heaps. Yeah, my ex-fiance, she was on cocaine. She had a psychosis, thought the mafia were trying to kill her or something, and she ran off and got picked up in Cronulla in a park by the cops, and she had like 30 grand of my cash and a bunch of drugs on her, and they were like, what's this? And she was like, oh, my fiance's a drug dealer. And
nice.
So then, it was all over.
And then Raptor.
You know, I'm not upset about it because I wouldn't have the life that I have now if it hadn't all gone to shit.
Yeah.
You know, if I had never got pinched, I reckon I would have been a rich drug dealer and my heart would have stopped from bags by like mid-40s anyway. I was like not well. I was a fucking fiend. My nose like it's like falling apart. It was like, it used to be pointy because of like how much bag. I was doing like an ounce a week.
Collapsed on itself.
Yeah. It's like a giant hole there because I was doing like an ounce a week of coke, just like not sleeping for 5 days straight every week. So I was just like, it saved my life, go to jail.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think with my parents as well, the thing which I have said a bunch of times is like, when you're breaking the law like that, when you're just a professional criminal or drug dealer, I didn't fully appreciate, like I was happy to do the crime and willing to do the time, but you don't realize the impact that it has on your loved ones if you get pinched, right? Yeah. And so it did hit my parents hard, and they stuck by me through it all. And I just thought, right, well, when I get out, I can't be doing this anymore. Yeah. I hadn't fully appreciated that loved ones do jail time with you.
Yeah, 100%. It's not only jail time. You're saying you've been a dealer for 16 years. I can imagine a bit of a scumbag for 16 years too. And putting your parents through fucking hell and back really for that long.
And they still stick by you. It was going on for that long?
Sorry, Smolly, I was still talking. Yes.
You're right. I don't think they they definitely didn't know it was going on for that long. And then even then they knew maybe like this, I'm getting money from somewhere that's maybe, it's not all adding up, but they weren't asking too many questions about it as well.
Was it big money? Like, can you talk about the quantities?
I think by the last few years, I was making like 30, 40 grand a week. Towards summer, it'd be like 80, 90 grand a week.
That's all cash though. What do you do with that fucking money? You're right. It's all. Just
fucking dumb shit. I would be going to restaurants and buying bottles of Cristal. I'm putting gambling. I'm putting fucking 7 grand of coke up my nose a week. It was just nothing good.
Mate, you gave me a good shake. Hats off to you, bro. You gave me a good shake. Oh, mate, I'll be dead. Good on you. You made it out the other side.
Thanks, mate.
That was what I was about to say, George. Now that you come out the other side, you look back and go, I can't believe where I am now to where I was. Is it just a polar contrast, right?
Totally. In terms of like, I didn't like myself, the version of myself that I was. I hated it, and so like now I like the man I see in the mirror, and I love my job, and I love the trajectory I'm on, and the money feels better because it's earned through real work. Whereas drug money just comes too easy. You don't value it, you don't respect it. Like
now when people see you, they think, oh, what a funny cunt, what a sick cunt. That's Andy. Not fuck. That's my dealer. Like what a wanker.
Why do you say that? Because when I first started doing stand up, I'd post comedy clubs would post clips of me doing stand up, and they'd get DMs from people who'd be like, "Yo, that's my dealer.
That's my dealer.
That's my dealer doing stand up." And I'll be like, "Correction, was your dealer? I'm retired."
So, same thing happened. I was posting. I did some social media for the gym. And I was doing a video for the gym, and some bloke commented, I'm sure I bought a bag off this guy at the Ivy. Wasn't me. Raptor wasn't me, obviously. All their bags look the same. Wasn't me.
It was interesting what you were saying before, because how you said the drug money comes really easy and now you appreciate the money more. Yep. There's an old saying, and I think we've said it before, you never truly appreciate something unless you break your sweat to get it.
Yep.
And that's like evident.
100%. Yeah.
Because, like kids, when you give them stuff, they don't really appreciate it. And the drug money, 90 grand a week, like that's insane, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
All this money, you don't appreciate it because it's just coming in abundance. And now that you're actually earning it through blood, sweat, and tears, truly appreciate it. That's interesting.
Totally. I was buying bottles of wine that were like 3-4 grand, and like I can't tell the difference between a 3 or 4 grand bottle or a fucking $100 bottle, really. So
we're not like,
so it was just dumb shit that I didn't need, and so no, I'm much happier now as a kind of I'm doing okay, but I just moved out of my parents' place in November, and I'm totally comfortable with where I am in life, and I'm not. I've got a girlfriend now, but I'm not married, and I'm not comparing myself to anyone. I'm like, I enjoy what I do with my life, and I like who I am, and I'm trying to do good by people, and so yeah, it just feels like none of this would have happened if it hadn't all gone to shit.
Yeah.
So is life fun quite regularly because you're a comedian? Is it? Was the people you're around are funny people, or are they only funny on stage?
No, they're funny on and off, most of them. And so I think, I would say most of my days are fun. If I'm not working on stuff with the channel, which is most of it is fun. I mean, there's bits of it, like any job, that is still just admin and work. But other than that, I'm usually just at home trying to think of another dick joke or something like that. And so I'm just sitting there making myself laugh.
Do you laugh at your own jokes?
Oh, yeah, I'm famous for it, man. I'm shocking. Yeah.
You have to, though, right? You have to.
I try not to do it too much when I'm on stage because that can get really annoying. But like sometimes you'll say a joke and then the crowd loses it and then you remember, oh, this is fun. This is stupid. What I just said was ridiculous. And then I'm laughing as well. But yeah, it'd be when I'm writing something and I've just come up with a new idea and then I'm pissing myself laughing. I'm like, that's a pretty good sign that this will work on stage. Yeah.
And do you practice it on anyone? Do you have anyone your
like
mum or your dad?
Conversation, like would you ever go have someone and sort of slip one in, just see their reaction?
Oh, sometimes on other comedians or stuff like that, I'll run a little bit, but usually it's just me at home rehearsing, and then I'll just see whatever gig is on that night, and I'll just try and jump on stage and say it.
I was going to ask you because I've been to a lot of stand up, right? And there's some comedians that are there like,
hey, what do you hold on to, babe?
It makes me feel like I'm important. I've got some stuff that I'm reading. It's blank.
It's
blank.
You
got notes.
It's his artistic process.
I'm just asserting my dominance over you.
You've actually never had that before. Now I feel like I've got that.
You don't pay any attention.
Is there a piece of paper to go?
I can't. What was he even saying? Talking about? Oh yeah. So
he's done his homework. I like it.
Yeah.
This is my turn. No. What I was going to ask you, Andy, there's times that I've gone to watch comedians and I'm like, this is the wrong career for you? Is there someone backstage when someone gets up on stage
Like when they're really bad? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, when they're really bad, I'm like, mate, you can practice all you want, do this all you want. This is not for you. Is there ever a point where one of those comedians comes backstage and you pull him aside or her aside, go, hey, get a job. Yeah.
It's not no one's right to tell someone to quit comedy. That's their own decision. But it would be also wrong to tell them that because there are stories of people sucking for years and years, and then finally they figure it out, and then they come good. And then they're like one of the best comedians.
Mate, there's a lot of stories like that.
Like one George.
Tim Dillon, like my favorite comedian. Stories like
that true?
Yeah.
True?
Mike Epps too. Mike Epps was sucking a lot, man, and he's probably one of the funniest comedians I've ever heard.
You hear these stories of guys that like sucked for 10 years, and like it's kind of impressive to be continually. You're driven to do the craft. You keep putting in the work. You suck for 10 years, and you go, I believe I can get there. That's impressive. You know, I don't know if I didn't have kind of immediate kind of validation, whether I would have continued. If I was 3 years in and barely getting a laugh on stage, I wouldn't stick around, I don't think.
You'd pivot. I think you'd pivot, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Like just the balls it takes to get up on fucking stage, man. Like people say the balls it takes to play footy, like playing the front row, but just to be on stage by yourself, where we were playing, we had 13 other boys with us on the field, but to be by yourself in the spotlight and putting yourself out there, see if people are going to fucking laugh or not.
You know what, man? Like I've played team sport my whole life. Had one boxing fight.
Yeah.
And being in a ring where there's nowhere to hide behind an opponent. Yeah, same as up on stage.
Yeah.
There's you plus all the guests. You got a microphone you're hiding behind, or maybe not. It's confronting, right?
I had a fight. There's a very big podcast called the Alpha Blokes podcast. The boys based out of Gladstone, and they have a like fight night once a year where Aussie podcasters fight each other called the Podcast Royale.
Oh, there you go, George.
And I fought in it last year, and they had like 5,000 people there on the Gold Coast. And I remember that was like one of the first times where I was starting to feel performance nerves again because I was so used to doing it on stage. But as soon as I got punched in the head a few times, the nerves went out the window.
How'd you go?
And then you're back in the yard all of a sudden. You're back in the yard fighting for something sharp.
I lost on points, but I was too busy touring and like I didn't put in the work. So
they full train for it and everything. Like it's a proper fucking go.
Yeah, man.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They had
you get invited.
Golden Gloves. Andy, I don't know if you know, it was Golden Gloves 2 years in a row. Mate.
Really?
Gold Police Boys, yeah.
Oh man,
so,
well you should get on the Alpha Blokes fights for next year, Potty Royale.
Someone's gonna call you out on that one day.
Well, I'm probably not there like Magic Round and not go to the Golden and just not turn up to the fight.
I was like, I'm not sure if I can win the fight, but I can definitely win the press conference. So I was like, I had all these jokes set up to roast my opponent at the press conference. Because he had a podcast as well. He runs a funeral business. And he's a mate of mine now, Brizey, and he was sitting kind of opposite me. And so his podcast is called the Dead Ass Podcast. And I was like, in preparation for this fight, my trainer put me through hell. You know, I was doing sparring, I was doing burpees, and he made me listen to the Dead Ass Podcast. And I was like, the worst thing that's possible. And there's just like 500 guys at this press conference being like, yeah, banter, yeah. But they had George Rosen, like the guys from No Limit were there, and they were like, fuck, you've done well to like create an environment. 5,000 people were there. And they're like bigger than like most Australian boxing nights, bigger than the NRL boxing matches. They had like a lot of pro boxers there. They were doing commentating and stuff like that, and you like kind of feel sorry for them that like they're not drawing crowds like that. Yeah. But it's just like
from No Limit put on a fucking show. Like
they absolutely
Big Georgie Rose.
Yeah, they absolutely do. I've been to a few of them,
making a killing. Good on you, Georgie. Big shout out to Georgie. Used to play footy with him.
Yeah, Matt Rose as well. He's brother,
his brother Matty. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But I think it's the reason why I sell so many tickets is because these are all guys that listen to these podcasts and know these people, and so they care, they give a shit about who wins.
They
can
relate to them. And and that's why they turn up, not just some fucking
which is unfortunately the way it is these days. It's like, you know, YouTubing and YouTube boxers can sell more tickets than just like
they're the proper fighters. It's crazy.
Well, it makes sense, right? You look at Jake Paul. How many got 40 million followers? And how many like the Pacquiao versus Mayweather was like 5 million subscribers or whatever.
Right,
Like you get half of his subscribers, you already got 20 million.
Yeah.
That makes sense to put on fights, doesn't it?
So we've got a mutual mate, Joe. If you give a big shout out to Joe.
Joe Kwan.
Joe Kwan, big boy, big Joey from the area. Nice to mention his name again. Haven't seen him in a while in the gym. He's been a bit.
He's always traveling, he reckons. He's always
fucking
jet setting. So where is he?
Yeah. How'd you meet Joey? And tell us about the good things that big Joey's doing.
So I had Joe as one of my first guests on I used to have a podcast called Shit's Gone Sideways where I'd talk to people about times when their life had gone to shit and how they recovered from it. And so I just basically went through any kind of ex-cons that were on other podcasts and just tried to DM them. And Joe was like, yeah, man. I had John Killick was my first ever guest who John Killick escaped from Silverwater Prison in a helicopter in the year 2000. Yeah, his girlfriend.
Driving the helicopter. Fucking landed in the yard.
She hijacked at a gunpoint. And it landed in the yard. This is in the year 2000. And John jumped in the helicopter. They flew off while they're getting shot at. The bullet just missed the pilot. And they flew and then they were on the run for 40 days.
You didn't hear about that? She landed right in the yard, right? And you jumped in and it was fucking nuts, bro. It was all over the news. It was crazy.
Never heard about
Imagine how to miss like
It's like the greatest prison escape in Australian history. He was my first ever guest.
Wow.
But then, I had Joey on and I got to know Joe and amazing stuff he's doing with his charity Confit, which is like all ex-cons that go into juvies and they work with kids to teach them that you can rehabilitate your life through fitness and through different opportunities. And so he's had a few guys that have gotten university scholarships now through their program. And what he's doing is amazing.
What a program, man. You got Hamilton Hughes, big shout out to Hammer, and you got Junior and Big Joey. Mate, your boys are killing it. Good on you, sir.
So who's been the biggest influence on your comedy career so far?
Oh, I mean, I love, in terms of Australian comedians, I mean, you can't go cast like, obviously Carl Barron was a big one.
Is he the most successful in Australia?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, Jim Jeffries is the biggest internationally, but Carl Barron still sells out stadium, giant theaters everywhere in the country.
He's a funny dude.
He's a beast.
Just to look at him, he's funny to look at.
Yeah.
His presence up.
Yeah, he just talks about, growing up and just
everyday
life.
Shit, right?
And just
simple shit. It just makes it funny. But the way he delivers it, it's it's awesome.
There's guys like him. I grew up with Jamoan. All those guys were all on the Footy Show and stuff like that back in the day. I remember some of my youngest memories of watching comedy were watching Jamoan with my brother, and just the things he could do with his eyebrows. You're just in tears. He's barely saying a word.
And his accent's hilarious.
Yeah, accent's important. It's like what's that Canadian comedian named Taj? He's got the brown. He's only funny in Australia. Apparently, he's way less successful. What's his name? It'll come to me anyway. What's his name? No, he's not. Trent, what's his name? typing
What's his fucking name?
Canadian comedian that performs in Australia. Anyway. Yeah, anyway, he comes to Australia and he's really funny because he's got a Canadian accent.
Yeah.
Apparently he's way less.
You look busy, bro.
He's way less successful in America because it's got an American accent, right?
Yeah, well, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, so Jim Owen.
Then all the kind of big ones that you know from America. I mean, I love Norm Macdonald was my favorite ever. Who's kind of it's not many he's passed. He's died. Yeah.
Aj Barker.
Aj Barker. Sorry. Yeah, I forget.
He's a funny dude.
Lived here for so long. I forgot that he's. Is he Canadian? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
He lives in Melbourne.
He's a good looking one, right? Aj Barker. Nah.
But he was big from Flight of the Conchords and also from his stand up back in the day. But yeah, he was another one that I used to go to the Green Gate Hotel and random pubs to watch Aj. But yeah, I wouldn't say that there's many that I'm
Dave
Chappelle, Bill Burr, all those kind of ones, amazing.
Dave Chappelle humor's fucking hilarious, bro.
He's very political now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's turned very political, but I don't mind it because it's
hilarious.
Yeah, it's
real.
Fucking funny, bro.
So funny.
Bill Hicks, another dead American comedian who talked a lot about drugs, who I kind of get a bit of inspiration from. But you kind of just you watch these guys and you just kind of see various things that they have in their act. That you're like, how can that apply to me? And then it's all about you just trying to make it your own version of it. So for me, I'm a storyteller comedian mostly, and I'm just trying to be myself, which is kind of pretty highly animated. I'm a fast talker on stage. So some people find that annoying, but other people are like, hey, I got, almost 1.5 shows worth of material because he talks so fast.
Well, that's good. Fast talker was a fast thinker. I see that you bounce back with some fucking comebacks pretty quick.
Yeah.
But good on you. Good on you, man. Very funny. It's good to see
I know
you.
we touched on like writing your jokes and that, but do you practice getting up in front of people, or have you always been confident up on stage?
Yeah, confidence is something big, right? Like you can be funny and not confident, or you can be overconfident and not funny.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that are confident that they can be funny and they get on stage and they absolutely suck. I mean, a lot of it comes down to good writing. If you have good jokes and you believe in them, then I think then you have a reason to be confident. But then you get validated by the laughter.
Yeah.
But I have to sit at home and write 20 shit jokes before half a good one comes out. And I won't know that there are some comedians that are so good that they'll write something and they know it's funny and they can go, I have to try it on stage to find out.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I'll try a bunch of shit out on stage, and every now and then one will work. And then I have to try and figure out whether the ones that didn't work were never funny or whether I can fix them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a whole learning process. I'm only 4 years into it. So,
doing well, bro.
it will take a long time before I would consider myself good at comedy. I'm good for where I'm at.
Yeah. Now I wanted to ask you, you've got a missus, obviously.
Yes.
You were saying that before. Does she find you funny? Because I'm fucking hilarious and my missus is not my funny, not one fucking bit.
I think she does find me funny. It was a big thing. The first time I met her friends was she brought them all to the Comedy Store to see me perform. So my audition was performing. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I actually prefer this to going and having a dinner with them because this is my bread and butter. I do this all the time. So I'm actually okay with this. And luckily the gig went really well and they were she laughed, they laughed. And
so she fell in love then, that's it.
Well, I mean, we haven't said the L word yet, but I think that was it.
Who's up? That was said first.
So it's obviously important if you're not good looking, you got a small cock, you have to be funny, right?
Or rich. or rich. Or funny and rich.
Are you saying I'm not good looking? Is that what you're saying?
You mentioned the
Raptor was saying Raptor made a statement about your cock.
I had a couple of people chat to me that they knew people in the Raptor Squad and are like, that's full of shit. There's no way that someone said that to him. But then I was at a gig, where was it, on the Northern Beaches recently, and a guy came up and he's like, I used to work Raptor Squad, and the guy that said that to you, he got let go from the force not long after. Oh, not for that, but like he just not long after. But I wasn't upset. I was like, these guys are used to raiding bikies, clubs and like whatever organized crime. They don't know what they're walking into. The guy might have guns. They must have so many Red Bulls before they raid a house. Yeah. Like you catch the bad guy in your head, why wouldn't you like have a little bit of banter? Yeah, we fucking got you, motherfucker. I wasn't taking it personally. And
we're not taking the piss out of the boys from Raptor too. They're doing a great job. Keep it up.
Yeah, don't raid this place.
Don't raid this place. Raid Trent.
So, I was like, I wouldn't give a fuck. They're allowed to mouth off. Who gives a fuck?
I probably deserve it. Right?
Yeah, and hey, you helped me with one of my first ever jokes that worked on stage. So it's a win.
Let's go.
Should we shift gears here?
Let's go, man. I'm staring at it. I'm not looking forward to it.
And this is the first time George has ever prompted the physical challenge.
I just want to get it done. Okay. I had a big weekend. I just want to, I want to get it done. Like I've been up in Brisbane, which is like it's like a caravan park on steroids up there, bro.
Well,
as I said earlier.
I saw a post the other day and we mentioned off air that Magic Round is like Mad Monday for dads.
Yeah.
So plenty of dads up there drinking, have a good time.
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
So anyway, Andy, the physical challenge, what it represents is what life is all about. Facing adversity head on, it's how you handle that, right? So life can throw you curveballs. It's how you handle those curveballs. So what we're going to do the chili, or not at the same time, but we'll do one at a time. Are you okay with that?
No, I'm totally fine with it. I was wondering how you were going to link the physical challenge to the podcast, but then you've done that now.
Yeah, so that's what it is. It's a curveball. So bend over, just drop your stride. No, so that's the reason. So facing adversity head on and
I just wasn't sure if you're just like a twisted fuck. This is what you just do in your spare time. Small's just like rubbing. It's just like have a sniff and rub the chilies in your eyes.
Smalley rubs us chilies on his nipples.
I see. Actually, funny story. Remember Brett Kelly?
Yeah.
And I was
Big
just
shout out, Brett Kelly.
I was just away with one of my mates, right? We used to live together. We used to play jokes on each other. And what we used to do when we go shopping is we used to get the chilies, crap the chilies, and try and rub them in each other's eyes at Woolworths. So when we're trying to pay, or our eyes are burning. And this one time,
That's such a shy thing.
I got
It's a fucking such
a
a
white
shy
thing.
thing.
It's a Caucasian
I'm
thing.
going to say it's a white thing.
Anyway, we got home and I had the chilies and I forgot to rub them in his eyes. So anyway, as we're unpacking the groceries, I got the chili and cut it open with the seeds and got his toothbrush and rubbed all the seeds through the bristles of his toothbrush. Anyway, we're sitting there this is like at 5 o'clock. We're watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and all these shows, and it's getting to 9 o'clock. He goes, I'm going to bed. So anyway, he gets up, goes to bed, or goes to brush his teeth, and he comes out. I hear him walking in the hallway, and I see him standing there with his tooth. I've forgotten about it.
Yeah.
And his face was red. He was like, there was a bead of sweat coming down his head, and he looks at me and goes, you can't. I said, what? He goes, what do you mean? The chili's got him. So, little story about the chilies.
Oh, mate, you're on edge.
Was
It'd
it
be anxiety
That's
all
what he
fucking
said.
day. Yeah.
That's what he said.
That poor bloke, he is nothing like that.
No,
You've turned him
he's
into
not the same.
You've turned him into that person.
It was punishing. Anyway, so
Poor girl.
Andy, grab a chili.
That's your water too, Andy.
Yep. No, you got one next to you. You got one next to you.
Oh, is that? Sorry, it's mine. I wasn't going to eat the chili. I was thinking salts.
All right,
Go,
so we'll
Andy,
go one
guess.
at a time.
Go
The whole thing down to the green. Have a chew.
Yeah. Oh,
Make sure the
big boy.
microphone, because there's people that haven't got the video, so they're just listening. All right, so we want to hear the crunch. You all right? All right, George.
Oh, fuck, you took that like a champ.
You're up,
Straight away.
George.
You go, mate.
Oh, okay. Nothing. Not even a face.
You know, there's a Canadian restaurant in Bondi called the Stuffed Beaver.
Yeah.
And I went there one time and I was having tacos and there was this hot sauce on the table. And I said to the guy who worked there, I'm like, excuse me, is this hot sauce? And he's like, yeah, unless you want something hotter. I'm like, what do you got? Let's go. And he's like, brought this hot sauce from behind the counter. It said Mad Dog chili sauce. And it was like 5 million Scovilles. I chucked this on my taco and fuck me, my whole mouth was on fire. My lips went puffy, like I'd been stung by a bee. And I had to get my girlfriend to run and get me milk from like a convenience store. And I had to like just hold it in my mouth for like half an hour. I couldn't even talk. We went home. I was taking a piss and then my dick started burning. And I'm like, fuck, I forgot I had some like lingering chili sauce on my finger. And I touched my cock. Nearly had to dip my cock and balls in milk. Fuck me.
I did the same thing last time. Forgot on my finger, started rubbing my eye during the podcast and trying to fucking recover. Try and recover from that.
Not giving it to a face.
Again,
Right,
I've said it
so
before,
sniffing
Trent.
salts.
I've said it before, Trent. This is fucking highly unnecessary for the show.
Mate, we're going to get demonetized with all the swearing you're doing here. We're going to get demonetized.
I just think it's unnecessary.
All right, so sniffing salts. We've got 2 here. So the key here, Ant, you're right. Just wetting the gills.
Trent should have to.
All right, from now on, we're going to implement Trent's, the director or producer, is going to be having the chili as well. Because he's over there,
He's over there dressed up like he's killing it.
He's over there dressed like an architect. All right.
Accountant.
All right, so the key here, we've got 2. Well, they've both been brewing, so I don't know which one's spicier than the other. So crack the lid, but remember when you crack the lid and take the lid off, the smell escapes. You want to crack the lid close to your nose and have a, all right?
Have you ever mixed up the order and done the smelling salts first, then the chili? Is this the correct order?
No, I think it's the correct order, right?
So just remember, lid to the face, crack the lips like a good whiff.
I'm just turning and I'm whipping.
Yeah. When the lid is off though, and a good bump, boom. No good.
Oh, fuck, that was a whiff, bro.
I don't think that one was that good, was it?
I don't think it was that strong.
Yeah. Right. Try this one. Yep.
Give me the other one.
No. Oh, we're out of order here. Can you just grab the other 2 there, Trent?
Yeah.
It's on the ground. Just bear with us. We've had a wardrobe malfunction here.
Yeah, that's true. I'm invincible.
Chuck him here,
It's
Trent.
been sipping harder shit than that.
Chuck one here. I'll go first.
Oh.
No, not good.
You are a fucking soldier. Mate, he's smashed through.
Try that one. That one's a bit hot.
Oh,
Yeah, right. Yeah, that rocks it. Hey, I don't know how you did that.
oh, we're done.
No, I'm gonna have this one.
Ooh, it must be. Yeah, I'm invincible from
yeah, fuck it.
Try that
years
one.
of cocaine. Fuck, I think I've done every one.
Fucking legend. What
my
a legend.
All right, you're gonna have to blow dart
Part of
me.
the show, new part of the show. We're gonna blow it up.
We're gonna have to make that challenge harder. That was far too easy.
Wow, good on you.
Hey, can we AI that reaction to make it a little bit more intense?
I mean, at least my eyes are still watering, maybe from the chili or from that. I don't know what it was,
Holy,
but
that was a whiff and a half. Wow, that's a 10 out of 10.
we can
Alex
see how
Simon.
I did it. It was that kind of sniffing power that would get me to do an ounce of coke
Oh my
in a
god,
week.
Alex Simon, 146 kilos, rocked him.
Oh, done a standing backflip.
Oh my
He
god,
lost his mind.
oh my god.
Oh, I wouldn't tell him that. But he,
No,
he took it like a champion.
mate,
Alex,
legend.
yeah.
So getting out of jail to where you've got to now, did you have a plan?
I love how you can go from the chili and the civic sauce back to like just the normal chat.
That's the idea. That's it.
So anyway, tell us about the.
We're overcoming adversity here, Andy.
Oh.
So was there a plan? Or you just winged it?
Did I have a plan?
Did you know you weren't going to do the wrong thing again? That part of the
Yeah, I
plan?
knew that. It's very weird to say this because I'm not a very religious person. But I felt like a voice spoke to me when I was at Long Bay and was like, when you get out, you're going to do comedy and it's going to change your life.
Oh,
Was this voice that told me that.
Wow.
And yeah,
And was it a one-off thing that you heard that, or was it something that ongoing?
it was ongoing. That's why I started writing jokes in jail. I was in Long Bay. I was writing joke ideas, testing them on my cellmate. And I just believed that if I got out, because I'd worked in public relations for like many years, and I was like, at that point, there'd only been one story in the Daily Mail about my arrest. So I was like, I can sweep this under the rug and I could go back to a regular job. But I was like, what if I do the opposite? What if I get out and I just start getting on stage and say, hey, I went to prison for drugs and we're going to laugh about it, and started owning the fuck out of it and just kind of shouting it from the rooftops. And I was like, that sounds so crazy. I believe it's going to work.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I just, at no point did I ever doubt that. And so,
Hold on, you say you're not a religious man, but was that like that voice? What do you?
I don't know. Was it God? Was it like, are we living in the Matrix? Is it just my inner, myself? I don't know what it was, but certainly something, because I never had that happen to me before in my life.
Strange,
Just,
yeah.
it was like, and it was so clear
Mm.
and I believed it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's why after I've been doing stand-up for a year, I signed up to do the Melbourne Comedy Festival and do a 1 hour show, which was like pretty crazy to do that after only doing stand-up for a year. And I didn't know anyone. I could barely, I had to apply to get rooms, and the only room I could get was this small cocktail bar at 11:40 at night. I had the latest show on in the entire festival by about 2 hours on most nights.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I'm doing the right thing, and this is all going to work out. And so I started doing the show, and some nights I do the show to 4 people, but then reviewers started coming to the show. I got good reviews in the paper, and then I ended up getting nominated for Best Newcomer at the festival. And out of that, I got an agent and a book deal, and it changed my life. But it was all because I believe like there was just no doubt this was what I meant to be doing. All because I felt like I'd heard this voice that was like, do this and it's going to change your life.
Good on you. Let's talk about the book.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the book, man. So it's called
The Profound Benefits
The
of a stint
Profound Benefits. Yeah.
of a stint in prison.
Yeah, there's that word.
Because-
Profound, Smalley.
Yeah, because I felt like I went to jail, and that was what started me to ask myself these hard questions. Like, if you could start your life over again, what would you do? And I feel like, people don't often ask themselves that, like, what do I want to get out of life? And I feel like people only really do that when crisis happens, when they have a health issue or a divorce or they lose a job or something like that, when it all goes to shit, and then you start asking yourself, what are your priorities and what do you want to get out of life? And so that's kind of what the point of the book was. It's like, hey, if you can ask yourself those questions without having to go through the shit, do it, because you might go onto a happier path.
That's the thing. Like you need a reason to change. And like you said before, if you didn't get pinched, you may very well still be doing it, if not dead.
I would definitely still have been doing it. My vision I had in my head, I opened a pizza restaurant. I had a pizza shop in King's Cross. My vision was to open 10 of them. And then I was like, then I'll stop dealing drugs. But I would have got to 10 and been like, 10 more. I would have never quit. I would have just kept, it would have been like another stretch goal. I would have kept making excuses because I was just too greedy.
Greedy or driven?
Well,
you know what I mean? Like,
at some point, if I had 10 successful pizza shops and I'm still having to sell magic mushrooms and cocaine, then it's like greedy, because it's like, at what point enough's enough? And also, you could just keep making money with the legitimate business now, so that's when I call it greedy.
Yeah, greedy. I'd say greedy.
That's some serious coin, 90 grand a week, isn't it? Crazy.
Mate, I'll tell you.
What are you looking at me like? I'm going to be like,
I'm just trying to work out. It's been holding a piece of paper. Is there something on there that you want to discuss, or?
It's just got some colouring in pictures.
I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks, Smalley. I told you Andrew's coming on. You've done your research. What do you reckon about him so far?
Well, that first joke that I saw 2 years ago, like, I've been following you ever since.
Yeah.
And to have the opportunity to have you here, I'm blessed. So thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure, mate.
Starstruck.
Podcast, yeah.
Like, from the moment I saw you, just got this charisma about you. So when you're up on stage, you can see how you engage your audience, because you're.
That's Raptor.
There's Raptor Squad.
They got me again. They got some new material, because I've heard all the cock stuff. I've heard it before, boys.
So you got 350,000 followers and like 450 on your podcast group. Where do you sort of see yourself in 5 years? Like, is it something that you're going to continue to grow? Do you want to end up on TV? What is it?
We're working on my US visa at the moment. It's just like a lengthy process because of my criminal record. But I'd love to do some US touring. I did a UK tour in November, which was pretty cool to already be able to go to other countries and have fans. Is pretty crazy. I did a show in Glasgow on a Sunday with like 300 people there. It was like insane. But people like with my face printed on people's shirts and shit like that. Good. So it's just enjoy the ride, man. I'm just going to keep on writing jokes, keep on trying to make people laugh, and just see where it goes. But the YouTube channel has blown up. We've been doing it now for like a year and a half or something, and
it's hilarious, bro.
Making hilarious. You give you the 20 grand that you make. How do you disperse that 3 ways, or goes into a kitty?
So
6 of you.
That's like, so we get our YouTube revenue, then we do brand deals throughout the videos, and then we have like a Patreon subscription service, which makes pretty good money as well. And so all that money just goes into the business, because we have a lot of overheads with shooting and editors and all that kind of stuff. And then, we kind of just pay ourselves a living wage, and we just keep growing. But to be, nearly like a $2 million business already after like a year and a half is pretty amazing. And
is that all the OG's been going for, a year and a half?
We launched it in November 2024.
Good on you, bro.
So
that's off. That's awesome.
1.6 million.
Good, yeah, that's so impressive.
It just goes to show, like Jason Ballo, the guy who wants to be, what does he say? This is what $2 million buys you in Sydney. He said you're one video away from your life changing, like one video, and because it's international, you can do one funny video, and before you know it, you got 350,000 followers.
I 100% believe that, because for me, people will buy tickets to see a stand-up comedian that they don't know too much about their stand-up. If they've seen videos of him if they've seen videos of me and they've found them funny, then they're like, I'm willing to take a punt on this guy. I'm willing to spend an hour, because it's not just the money. It's like, do I want to listen to this cunt for an hour? Right? People forget about the time investment as well. Yeah. So I find social media is just so good for me, my face to be out there, so that when we have run ads for my shows, people are like, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing this dickhead talk.
Yeah. So, Andy, this show is all about discipline, mindset, and overcoming adversity. Obviously, the adversity that you've overcome is being in prison. So, in terms of discipline, what sort of stuff do you do day to day that sort of suggests your discipline working towards your goals?
My first year in stand-up, I did like 260 gigs, and like I wasn't getting paid for them, but I was like, I need to go out every night and do a gig. If I want it to be my job, I need to treat it like it already is. Yeah. was my mindset. And so I had a day job at the time, and then every night I was on stage just grinding, trying to figure out how to do this fucking thing.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a big part of the process. But now I'm like at a point where I've had early success, and I had this show about kind of prison and drugs, and I knew all that. But now I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I can talk about next. And this is actually the bit where this requires harder work. So now I'm having to work much harder on my writing. So it's just getting into a process of every day getting up, writing just for an hour. I mean, that's how I wrote a book. I had a goal. I read a book by Stephen King called On Writing, and it just said, write 1,000 words a day. And so I did that. And so then 70 days later, I had 70,000 words on the page. And then that was enough to send to a publisher, and they were like, yeah, we're going to buy it.
Wow.
This goes to show it starts like rather than the goal being the book, goal being write a page.
Yeah, small
Take with
goals,
take with the step.
Yeah.
And I found the good thing about that was some days I'd hammer it out. In like an hour, I had 1,000 words done. And then I was like, fuck, I could write more, but I stopped myself because then I feel I had that momentum carrying into the next day, you know? But so even on a bad day, I could limp out 1,000. But
So describe a bad day. Like a lot of people see someone that's being successful go, oh, he's on the ball all the time. That's not the case, is it?
when it comes to creative stuff, yeah, you just have days you're hungover, you've got girl problems, you fucking, I don't know, whatever. You're feeling tired, sick, whatever. Then you're sitting in front of your computer, and it's like, okay, I have to be creative now. Go. And so, yeah, not every day does everything flow, but it just start putting words on the page. And I found that even on a hard day,
handwrite or you're typing.
I'm just typing on a word processor.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I'm just on word.
And I can imagine, like, going from an ounce a week, the brain cells aren't always firing.
Not at all, brother.
Yeah,
no, my brain's
like,
cooked.
If they're absent, I don't know if they're there. They wouldn't be firing at all. Some days you're just blank.
I'm about a quarter of the brain that I had before all the cocaine.
I can imagine some of those times, Andy, when you're sitting there trying to put pen to paper, you're thinking, I can't put pen to paper right now. Or I can't think of anything to put down because my brain cells are cooked. And that was a bit of an excuse.
Yeah,
would I be right in saying that?
I mean, totally. I mean, sometimes I find that now, but I still need to work. So, like, if I'm trying to write a joke and I have like a few premises, a few ideas, and I'm writing one and I just can't get anywhere with it, then I will sometimes I'll just move on to another joke, but I'm still getting something done, right?
Yeah.
I have to write for an hour.
Yeah.
So, and that's fine.
That's a non-negotiable in your life now, is it?
Yeah, I have to write every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I found that even on a hard day when I was writing the book, I could still get 1,000 words out. And yeah, maybe you limp through it, but you get the fucking words done.
Yeah.
And then I found just by parking it, even when I'm not working on it, your back of your brain somewhere is thinking away on what's the next part of the story. So most of the time I found, yeah, you would, as soon as I sat down, I'm not staring at a blank screen being like, fuck, where do I go with this? Somewhere on my brain knew what the next part would be.
What are the expectations from people? Being a comedian, when you go to a party, everyone's like, all right, entertain us. Does that go on? It's like
funny, man.
It's like a guy that knows how to play guitar.
Yeah,
you expect the guy, get the guitar out. I'm like, dude, I want to enjoy this party too.
That's why, yeah, sometimes these people say that, I would say a really fucked joke just so they don't ask me again.
Or something so dark and disgusting.
Or something where they go,
can you share a joke with us? Off the cuff?
Well, my favorite one, because I used to do these dad jokes on YouTube, which is what I got known for. And so my favorite bit was like guys sometimes at pubs would just come up to me and like just tell me a joke. Or like, sometimes they wouldn't even say hi to me. They just whisper it in my ear. I just, it's coming up,
creepy.
you know? Like, I remember I was walking to a pub once and this bouncer looked at me and I thought he was going to tell me like, he was going to kick me out or something. And he goes, what do you call a lesbian dinosaur? And I'm like, what? And he was like, lick a lot of puss. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But
I'll take that.
but there was a guy at a pub. I was in the Gold Coast. Guy comes to me. He's like, "What does a gay horse eat?" I'm like, "What?" And then this big bloke doesn't look like the kind of joke every time he goes, "Hey." And I was laughing for like 20 minutes. Oh, that's great. Hey.
Oh, not the
I'm trying to stay composed. I'm trying to overcome.
That's a tough crowd, Smalley.
I'm overcoming adversity here.
How about that?
So your partner now, how long have you been with your girlfriend?
Like 3 months. So
Yeah.
pretty new. Yeah.
So can we talk about her or?
Sure.
Yeah. So she's supportive of your career.
Yeah. I mean,
She must be proud to say, you're a famous comedian.
Right?
That's a flex.
I think she's quite a private person. So I think this is like a lot for her to get her head around the idea that she's dating someone who like everyone know. You can look up everything. You can look up everything about me.
Yeah.
I don't have much secrets that aren't public information. So I think that's something that is a learning curve for her. But I think.
What does she think about your jokes, bro? Like, because some of them are like that's that single mum joke. Like, what?
Well,
how does she take it? Because
Can you share that?
Yeah,
Can you share that joke.
share the joke.
Share that joke. That
People know
was the first joke I ever saw of you. And I'm like, I love this guy.
Sure. So it was just like me recording a video in my car saying, I think it'd been based on an interaction I'd had with a woman on a dating app. And I was just like, how can I make this kind of a joke? So it was like, single mothers on dating apps, what are they doing there? They should be banned because whenever you match with a single mother on a dating app, they'll always go into the same single mother rant where they'll go, my child is my world. And if you want to get to know me, you got to understand that I'm a mother first and a woman second and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, whoa, take it easy. I only asked if you want to see a picture of my cock, right? And so,
which is funny.
And so all the mums got it, and like we're laughing and like I was so ready to tee off here, and then eventually Clementine Ford saw it and got angry and set all of her army of single mothers on me.
Yeah.
But you can't please everyone.
Nah.
But
Did the missus did she find it funny?
I
That'd
mean,
be a real
I
test.
don't think she's gone through my back catalogue of every joke that I've said.
Look it up.
Yeah, there's certainly some women in my life that haven't loved every one of my jokes. There's ones I used to do about fake tits that my sister hated.
Do women come up to you and just sort of give it to you in public about being like who you are?
No, I've never had.
Good.
I've never had anyone kind of mouth off about my material, or even at a gig. If like, I did have some people leave in the middle of a show in Perth last year. I was doing a pedophile joke, and yeah, they must have. It must have been triggering in some way for someone because they all got up and left, and like I kind of.
They all. How many are we talking?
It was like 4 of them together. I think they were like a family, so I don't know what had happened, but yeah, that was my first time seeing like an actual walkout in the middle of a show.
Yeah. Does it put you off? I can put you off like mid.
Well,
I'd call them out. I'd call them out.
Well, you hit a string there.
One of the punchlines of the joke is that if you don't find that joke funny, you might be a sex offender yourself. So like they were saying, so I was saying that as they were leaving, and I'm like, okay, I think we found the pedophile, and
good riddance.
Yeah, but what do you do? Like, not every joke's for everyone. But usually once you're out there enough, people. Luckily, my first show was called Jokes About the Time I Went to Prison. So it wasn't like anyone was going to be 20 minutes in being like, I think this guy went to jail. It wasn't it wasn't a shock to anyone.
Material's not a shock.
Yeah. So I find it very cool because of my material that I'll attract to my show cops, prison officers, lawyers, and also crims. I had like a whole bunch of bikies come to my show in Adelaide. And then I had like from the local dog squad, cops from the local dog squad. So we've got all sorts in there finding it relatable for different reasons, right? Which I find cool.
You're a American character, that draws the crowd too, People see you out there and they think that, hold on, he's actually a funny cunt in real life too.
The problem is I do all these drug jokes and then I attract people that like are getting up to do bags every 20 minutes or 15 minutes in the show. Yeah. So sometimes I've got these young blokes going around like rats at the back of the room and I'm watching them and they'll be like, mate, great show. And I'm like, I don't think you saw the show, brother. You were outside doing bumps every 5 minutes. I don't think you saw the show.
Having your whole life out there to the general public, does that worry you? Like being judged now that, because eventually I'm imagining you're going to want to have children and the children going, oh, well, your dad's, a former dealer. Does that bother you?
I don't think so because that's part of the story. It's like I own my mistakes because I wouldn't be here without them, right? And so I think I love the fact that I own my shit so much publicly. And I've had so many people message me to be like, hey, man, there's one guy that really stuck with me. He said that he had gone to jail and he'd gotten out and he'd kind of turned his life around. And he had a job and ran a business. but no one outside of his like inner family knew about his time in prison. And I'd inspired him to go to a public speaking course, and he wanted to start telling people about it because it's part of his story and how he turned things around. I'm like, that's really cool if you can help people to feel like your mistakes, they don't define you. They just they help to shape the person you've become. Then that's far more important. So no, I feel like for me, it's the badge of honor to be like, yeah, I fucked up. I made these mistakes. I went down a very bad path, but that doesn't have to be the end of the story. You can decide to do something else.
Yeah. I think that's what's important. Sorry, like everyone's got to cross the bear, man. Everyone's made fuck ups. Everyone's made a mistake. But to own them is something different. Right. Like I fucked up a lot, and I just try and like shift it off to other people. Sort of point the finger at someone else. Wasn't my fault. Mainly my wife's fault. Mainly put all my mate's fault, pressured into it. But to own them and put your hand up and say, "Listen, I fucked up. I'm a piece of shit. Let's deal with it. Let's move forward." You know.
I appreciate that because it's really hard to do that. I hear now like so much victim mentality. It wasn't my fault, or this happened. All this rubbish. But you aren't your past. You are your decisions.
Yeah, 100%.
It's up to you to make. Like you were brought up amongst a good family, private school, but you still decided to sell drugs.
Yep,
that wasn't your parents' decision. It wasn't your schooling. It was your decision.
What school is it?
Riverview.
Yeah, wow, look at you.
Yeah, but
Nice.
You're right. I think that look, there's a lot of people who sometimes when they're given everything, that's not beneficial to them. I feel like it wasn't until I first hit adversity that I got tested in a way which then I had to discover what kind of man I am, right? So
well, that's the thing these days, I think, Andy. You know, like our kids are so fortunate now that they're not growing up. Not all kids, like if you're lucky enough to have money to be able to afford things for your kids, they're not growing up with any adversity.
Yeah.
So they're just, here's this, and all of a sudden they grow up little pricks. It's because they've just had their hand out the whole time.
Yeah.
So when you do have money, you are fortunate enough to put your kids through, good schooling and give them the things that they want. You have to put them through adversity, through lessons, I think.
You seen that cycle that they talk about, like good men create good times, easy times create weak men create hard times. I believe that, that, you do your best for your kids to try and create all these good times for them, but there still has to be some level of adversity that they go against, that they have to push against to learn about the world and about what they have within them.
And usually you got to create that adversity because it's not in everyday life for most of them, right?
No, yeah.
So it's got to be manufactured through sport. Saying no is a big one.
Yeah.
It's so easy to say yes, mate. Oh, there you go. Just have it. But obviously manufacturing the adversity.
It's a major problem for me at the moment, man. With my daughter, she's got me wrapped around her finger, but I cannot say no to her. Like
Why?
She's a manipulator. She's so smart. She's smarter than me, and she's like her mum. She's a problem. So I can't really say no to her, bro. So I need to make things a bit tougher for her at the moment, so she knows that it's not all. It's not all, Yeah.
It's not all sunshine and rainbows.
It's not all sunshine and
have
rainbows.
some challenges.
I grew up tough, man. Like I grew up tough. Like I need to show a bit of toughness on her, but you just can't do it, man. Like they're your kids. Like I grew up tough, so they wouldn't.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But
like we said,
that's a problem.
Yeah,
that's a problem. But man,
what do you do?
I'm torn, bro. I don't know.
So,
it's mum's fault.
Andy, any aspiring comedian out there listening to this podcast, which I'm sure there's maybe tens of thousands, thousands, thousands. What would you say to them that?
I think Trent thinks he's a bit of a comedian, but you should listen to this.
No. So any of the comedians out there listening that are aspiring to be in your shoes that haven't reached the success that you have, what would you say to them?
I mean, it's just a numbers game. You just got to throw yourself into as many gigs as possible. These days, it's like not enough to just be funny on stage. So they've got to be doing social media videos, all that kind of stuff. Because there's a lot of comedians that don't have the same mindset that they have towards stand-up, which is throw yourself into it, don't be afraid of bombing, like do all that stuff and learn from it. But they won't carry that mindset into social media, where they're like, oh, fuck, it's so embarrassing to put up a video. If it goes shit, that's embarrassing. No, you got to have that same fearless mindset of if you're going to do stand-up on videos as well, because you have to eat shit and fail and bomb before you figure out the one that blows up, And so luckily I was in a position where I was doing both. I didn't know what I was doing, and I was figuring out social media and stand-up at the same time. So I had the same mindset, the same approach to both. And so I was posting like 6 days a week, posting like my prison food reviews. I was trying to do a comedy sketch at home, one of my stand-up clips. I was just throwing everything at it. while also writing, doing the stand up, just to try and figure out. I was like, if I try it at all nonstop, something's got to land, you know. And so worked out great. Some of it
did work out great.
Yeah. Started going viral.
So when you post a video now, what's your expectation on likes and views?
Do you look at the likes on that, or
I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
I make stuff now that I like that I think's funny, and sometimes they go off, sometimes they don't. You know, there's no rhyme or reason. I could spend a whole day making a video, and then it gets fucking 20,000 views, and then I spend 5 minutes doing some dumb idea off the top of my head, and it gets 20 million views. So it just
20 million, is that what you're getting?
I've had like I did this like fake business podcast where I like sit with my mate and we like give each other like
funny. That dude looks really funny.
And we give each other like fake hustle culture advice. And so I was watching all these podcasts of like personal trainers talking about just absolute nonsense about keeping your circle small. And I was like, I got to take the piss out of these cunts. I was like, no, forget about keeping your circle small. You got to keep your triangle medium. Is what you got to do these days. And so my mate would be like, oh, that's so interesting. And one day maybe you'll have to be like a large rectangle or something. And so we just did videos like that. And like, so I did one about how Jeff Bezos doesn't do his own laundry and Mark Zuckerberg doesn't do his own laundry. And so these guys, they outsource this stuff. So I outsource as well. I hire a guy to come in and sleep with my wife because I'm too busy growing revenue. And so I said that as a joke, and it got like 40 million views on Instagram. And so I got all these DMs from guys being like, how could you dishonor your wife like that, man? Like, what the fuck? Like, just didn't get the joke. I'm like, it has Andrew Hamilton comedy in my bio. In the video, it says hashtag satire, hashtag comedy. Like, what more do you want from me?
But I suppose because it's so realistic.
It looks so realistic.
If you just watch that, you go, oh, these guys are actually being serious. That's not until you look at your page, go, hang on a minute, I smell it right.
Crazy.
Mate, we're gonna have to. It's an hour 20. We could go 2 hours, and Trent's over there just nodding off.
Trent, if you want to come to an open mic comedy night with me any night, mate, you can jump on stage.
It'd be a tough crowd of you out there, Trent. Both.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given, Andy? In jail, out of jail, at school?
I mean, for me, I think one that I took a while to realize, which I probably realized in jail, which is like no one's coming to save you. You know, you have to do it yourself. And so for me, yeah, it was that was a point where I just realized like my fiance had left me. My dogs had been rehomed. I'd lost my restaurant had gone under. I was in the news as a fucking drug dealer. Like my parents are stressed about me. I'm in jail. And I was like, the only person that's going to solve this is me. And so, yeah, I think that point where I got out, but luckily I had friends that stuck by me. One of them got me a day job pretty much as soon as I got out. And I was working that and then just trying to work at this comedy thing because I believed that I had something there. And I think that was the bit that helped me, was just being like, I have to fucking stop fucking around, and I've got to stop drug dealing, obviously, and get to work. And so I did it. Now, you know, it's still surreal to me to look back and be like, how much my life has changed. I got out of Long Bay in October 2021, not that long ago, and now I'm kind of living the life I always dreamed.
Good on you. And it wouldn't have happened unless you got pinched.
Totally. Yeah, I wouldn't have been on stage. I used to go to comedy gigs before I got arrested, and sometimes I would sit there and write joke ideas in my phone, and I think I was interested in stand-up, but I never would have done it. And like, I mean, I couldn't have done stand-up while I was still dealing, you know? Yeah. That is my actual dealer on stage.
It's interesting to look at that. A lot of people look at adversity as a negative thing in their life. It's not until they look back on that adversity, they go, hang on a minute, this was a red light and they're heading in a different direction. Like even with your gyms and that.
Yeah.
Like there was an opportunity there.
Yeah, it's a blessing, yeah. You won't know till you go through it.
That's right.
Yeah, that's it. At the time when it happens, it hurts and it sucks. And if when my parents told me when I was on the phone, when I first got pinched, they're like, Andrew, this might be the best thing that ever happens to you. And at the time when they say that, you can't really appreciate it. You're like, thanks, mum and dad. I'm in Park Lee.
Yeah.
I'm in Park Lee. It's a fucking shithole here. Like, I don't think it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. But when, so you can't appreciate when you're in it. But then when you look back, you're like, okay, everything had to happen like that.
When I got sick, when I got sick, you get the news and you think, fuck, why me? You know what I mean?
Of course.
Why me? Why me? Why me? And then you realize, like, I'm very religious. I've turned very religious after my sickness. And then you realize, I'll tell you what, it's God sort of saying, listen, this life isn't for you anymore. Yeah, I'm going to put you in another direction.
Yep.
Which is funny. You said about the voice. That's what turned me. That's why I'm asking, are you religious now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's sometimes not sometimes it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing to be put through tough situations and to come out the other end. Because I've had mates that didn't come out the other end.
Yeah.
You know,
Totally.
like during COVID, I've had mates that just that ended it. You know, it's tough and fucking yeah.
But would you agree that you see someone successful now, if you grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth up to 40, it's less of a story. Like I appreciate your story a whole lot more that you've overcome all these things. I'm like, oh, hang on a minute, you still can get it here.
Love a comeback story,
Yeah,
bro.
I love a comeback. I love it. So, mate, Andy, once again, thank you
That's
so
up
much
to
for
you.
coming on the show. Is there anything you want to leave the audience with before we go?
Check out the OG crew on YouTube. Get my book, The Profound Benefits of a Stint in Prison. I recorded the audiobook version as well if you want to listen to my annoying voice.
Your voice, yeah,
For
good.
7.5 hours.
7.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually hard work recording an
I
audiobook.
bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can only record it like in like batches of like 3 or 4 hours because your brain starts to get tired and you start fucking up the words and then you get frustrated. So
Right.
Bit of
Yeah.
ADHD kicking in.
Yeah,
there,
all of
Start
that.
thinking about other shit. Yeah. Start making funny voices.
So check out the book.
Yeah.
Check out the YouTube channel, the Instagram, and the TikTok. Thanks again for having us, for coming on the show. George, you want to leave us with any final words?
I don't actually. Smalley's got a piece of paper he's been holding on the whole
Mate,
time. Is there anything on there that you want to?
I've got-
Is it special? Sorry guys. I'll tell you what. Thanks. The grey jumpers, the grey merch has come out. Big shout out to the guys at the grey. Thanks for having us on. I know we're a bit punishing coming in and just fucking making a mess of the place, but
So
mate,
the
you
Grey
guys
is
have
the
been-
studio we're actually in now.
Yeah.
So if you got a photo shoot, you need to do a podcast, come here at the Grey.
Anything,
the
guys. The
jumpers.
casting couch. Anything you want. We're all here. We're taking everything at the grey. Not nice stuff.
And my undies. So I've done a soft launch of my undies. Everything counts. Those ones undies. They'll be advertised soon. So if you can get them on www.thoseones.com.au. Appreciate the support. Daily reminder that everything counts. So I'm going to wrap up today's
Sponsors,
show.
sorry. Sponsors.
Sponsors.
Well, Jim Macquarie Park.
Well, Jim Macquarie Park and those ones.
Great
And-
gym.
We haven't seen you down there in a while.
I know. I
Mate.
loved you.
Get fucking down there, mate.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just one last thing before we go. We're after a sniffing salt sponsor. So if you're a brand owner or a gym that wants to sponsor us with your sniffing salts, please drop us a line at.
It's got to be strong enough that it's got to blow.
It's got to be
my head.
stronger.
Strong enough, yeah.
We need a
Has to be
stronger
stronger
lot
than
of
an
sniffing
ounce.
salts. Well, after you sniff, that bottle's empty. All right, guys, at the end of the day, discipline is freedom. Success does not come from one big moment. It comes from the daily choices stacked day in and day out. And that's exactly why everything counts. Guys, if today's show gave you any value, please share it with a mate, leave a review, and join the movement on our Instagram and TikTok pages. And remember, the man you want to be tomorrow is stacked by the decisions you make today. Until next time, guys, remember, everything counts.